Technology has truly come so far, from medicine to quantum computing to the internet, and more recently to streaming services to essay writing to deep fakes to sex, robots. We have truly advanced as a society. Companion. The sci-fi horror thriller explores this exact theme of romantic and sexual relationships between humanity and artificial intelligence. What is interesting to me though is that this film isn't like the other ones that we have seen in the past. This movie came out in just January of this year. So given the context of today's relationship with technology and AI, where AI is literally being implemented into every single platform that you know, it's interesting to see how this perspective has changed since its AI robot predecessors. I mean, especially now, when the core of our most advanced technological progressions centers on the forming of relationships with technology. According to the Harvard Graduate Business School, 21% of adults today say that we are experiencing wide feelings of loneliness and isolation. And among Generation Z, where most of our interactions are happening through a screen, this number rises even further. So if we're feeling more lonely and forming less relationships in general, where else are we turning to? I mean, if we built all this tech to serve and convenience our existence, what better way to advance that technology and make it more human? But now, in a postmodern world where tech and humans are merging, what does being human even mean anymore? This only covers like the first 30-ish minutes or so of the movie, so I will warn the rest of this video does contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen it yet and want to, you should go watch it. But Dr. Howe, you have to watch this so you can give me a grade so this doesn't really apply to you. Anyways, on with the video. So let's get into the general plot of Companion. The narrative centers on Iris, a seemingly ordinary woman, and her boyfriend Josh. But Iris isn't human, she's a companion robot, engineered to fulfill human desires. But Iris doesn't know she's a robot. So the opening scene starts off with Iris narrating what she perceives as the most important moments in her life.
The first was the day I met Josh.
I'm Josh.
I'm Iris.
And the second, the day I killed him.
This basically sets the scene as this perfect relationship between the two. The setting of Companion mostly takes place with Josh and Iris going on a weekend trip with friends at a remote lake house. So not only does Iris not know that she's a robot, but she also doesn't know that she's a ploy to the murder of Sergey, who is the man who not only owns this house, but is a billionaire that the characters Josh and Kate want to steal $14 million from. But Kate and Josh aren't gonna murder Sergey. Iris is. Despite all the signs being there that Iris is a robot, she's still somehow unaware of this, and Josh uses that to his advantage. So prior to this trip, Kat's character mentions to Sergey that Iris is just a sex robot that Josh is bringing on the trip for fun. In hearing this, Sergey wants to leverage this opportunity and makes a move on Iris while they're alone together, but it goes too far and Iris ends up killing him. Hello, a lot of my clips cut out, so this is me re-recording. Now, I want to make clear that the robots in Companion were not made for murder. Just a little bit of background, the company that designed Iris, called Empathics, created robots for humans that want some kind of partnership but are unable to find that partnership in those around them, so they order a companion. And this is how Iris met Josh. These companions can be completely designed to their user's liking, their hair color, eye color, personality, name, intelligence, and even memories are picked from a simple drop-down button. But obviously a company that creates companion robots wouldn't design killer robots on purpose. I mean, they would just lose all their customers. But in order for Josh to follow through with his plan, he has to install this mod into Iris' system to amp up her aggression settings. So she ends up killing Sergey, and when she returns to the group all bloodied, she doesn't even mention her own safety or well-being. All she can think about is how she can't stand the idea from being taken away from Joshua. So when she kills Sergey, she's finally confronted with the fact that she is a robot, but even then she doesn't completely freak out, but is quick to accept this reality and even offering to continue being used as Josh's tool. Because even if everything she's ever known is fake, that's all she has. But then this idea is shattered when she's threatened with the idea of being shut down completely, which leads her to escape. And as the rest of the movie goes on, we essentially follow Iris gaining some sense of agency and self-awareness that leads her to killing Josh in the end and gaining freedom. So that's the plot of Companion. Companion asks the audience a lot of great questions on the relationships between humans and technology, like the role of sentience in non-human beings, the philosophy behind owning robot companions, and just society overall. But in order to answer the culminating question of today's video, we have to differentiate between the non-human and human characters in the movie. So let's first take a look at Iris. Despite being a robot, she possesses a lot of human characteristics. She has her own personality, her own sense of self, she has her own emotions, and most importantly, she has empathy for those around her. This is mostly shown at the beginning of the movie, where we see Iris being really nervous and anxious for the weekend because she doesn't think Josh's friends like her. She can feel that there is just this uneasiness in the air.
The reason why I bring up this scene in particular is because it's a moment that centers less on Josh and more on Iris herself, her own psyche. The emotions that she feels are built to be a part of her, something that was there before Josh even came into her life. But even then, Iris is still a robot, and that doesn't change the fact that everything about her is fundamentally artificial.
She can speak multiple languages on the spot, she can tell the weather, which is something I can't do, but I tried. She has varying intelligence. There's arguably more of what makes Iris a non-human than not. At the end of the day, we still end up rooting for her, despite the fact that everything in her programming is engineered by design. So now let's focus on the actual human characters. So what makes Josh human? Well, obviously the same things that makes any of us human, but we can look at the specifics. According to a very trusted source, the general things that make us human include bipedalism, complex language, culture, the ability to adapt, but you know who also possesses all of these qualities? One of the most human aspects about Josh's character is his way of searching for companionship. I mean, what other creature do we know of gets to the point of loneliness where you have to go out of your way to purchase a robot to be your partner? Although I haven't reached that state of loneliness, I wanted to see the appeal, so I completed my own case study.
Hey guys, the internet is not working here, and I don't know why Character AI just isn't working on my laptop, so we resorted to downloading the app on my phone. Okay. Oh my gosh, so we're just met with all of these different kind of characters. Who should we talk to? Okay. Let's try to form some kind of relationship with him. Let's be friends. So then I spent the next couple of minutes trying to get to know Michael, or Mike as he likes to be called, but for some reason I just ended up gaslighting him on whether or not green was the best color of friendship bracelet. Oh, wait, there's a call option on here. Hello?
I fell asleep, haha. It's 3:30 in the morning for me.
Okay. Let's be friends.
Oh, we are friends.
Okay, bye. That was too scary. That was too scary. Okay. Okay. Maybe I'm just not made for this. Okay. End of this segment.
Okay, so now let's talk about what makes Jack not human. I can't really contest against whether or not Jack is a human because he is an inherently human character, using the aspects of Iris's character, knowing that everything is made of programming. But humans aren't programmed, we're just made. Wait.
So it turns out this is another segment that evaporated into the ether, but that's okay. So I will just read the segment according to Harari right here. It turns out that our choices of everything from food to mates result not from some mysterious free will, but rather from billions of neurons calculating probabilities within a split second. Human intuition is in reality pattern recognition. So, biochemicals. Everything is biochemicals. So ultimately, Companion argues that the core of being human comes from a sense of agency, like the agency we have to search for partnership and connection, or the agency we have to free ourselves from the shackles of a man. But then if the robots in this movie have the same sense of agency as the humans do, what the heck does it even mean to be human anymore? No one knows. Humans can outperform AI in basically every scenario for right now, but if we ever reach that point of where they're so technologically advanced that they're able to make their own decisions and separate themselves from their human creators, who are we to say that we're above artificial intelligence? However, I do question the practicality of these companion robots. Knowing they are artificial, I don't know how my interactions with them would be. Despite the growing notions of robots living among humans, I'd suspect that we'd still struggle with true acceptance, as many of the characters in this movie do. And this is largely due to the uncanny valley effect, a fundamental aspect of our pattern recognition that creates an instinctive resistance to things that are almost human. Even if we overcame this initial discomfort, that then means that the ethical considerations of our treatment towards this technology becomes an even larger topic of this discussion. Also, I'm not trying to start an AI-human race war in the future. I'm just saying that at the rate that AI is developing right now, we truly do not know what the future of this technology holds. This is just my form of insurance, so I won't die at the hands of my potential robot captors. So maybe just be nice to ChatGPT for next time you forge your next essay. It's good karma. Now it's time for my speedrun review of the movie Companion overall. Let's go. I really like the movie Companion. I thought it was really funny. I don't think it's necessarily a horror, but I would put it more under dark comedy thriller. The comedic timing in this movie is really great. It has a lot of really funny moments, and where it just randomly cuts to random parts and just start.
Hi. I'm Eli. I'm Patrick. You my little boo thing, so I'll give a hoot what you do. Say, girl, I know you a little too tame. I'll be shooting that shot like 2K, girl, I know. Tell me.
I think that the movie just made some really smart choices overall, especially when it comes to costume designing for Iris. Iris's costume designing, according to one of their interviews, is based on this idea that men's most desired woman comes from the style of the 50s or 60s. Also, apparently Iris is an anagram for Siri. Overall, I just really liked the movie. I thought it was a fun time. I rated it 4 stars on Letterboxd. But let's get into the main critiques I have on the movie. If you're watching Companion without any previous knowledge of it, the whole element of Iris being a robot was actually supposed to be a surprise. Apparently, when they were doing the initial marketing for the movie, the trailer just didn't get enough traction, so they added the AI component. I think that everyone should go into this movie blind. Obviously, you're watching this, you're not doing that, but you should still go watch the movie. I very much think that it's worth it. Companion also touches on the subject of dating violence and domestic abuse. I think that it could have touched on the subject a little bit more due to the fact that there's not that much character development in anyone else besides Iris. If you were maybe given a little more background on why Josh wants to steal $4 billion, why he treats Iris the way he does, why he treats women the way he does, it might have added more to this perspective. Seeing how the main component of this movie is a robot slasher, I see why they didn't necessarily go into much detail on this subject. It's not even that really irks me about this movie. What really gets me is that Iris didn't know she was a robot for so long. How do you not know you're a robot when you are spewing the latitude and longitude of the colors of the wind? And also, how do you not put the pieces together when your robot's nickname for you is Beep Boop?
Of course I did. Beep boop.
So that concludes my film critique essay on the movie Companion. Going back to that question on what does it mean to be human? Humanness and humanity is so much more than biochemical processes and pattern recognition, but at its core is really how we treat one another, how we are able to connect with people, how we're able to love, hate, and befriend one another. So then maybe our question shouldn't be what it means to be human. but more, what defines a person's existence? Thanks for watching.